So I'm back! Hi there and welcome to episode 30 of the Blue Fern Yarn Podcast. My name is Shannon and I am the face behind Blue Fern Yarns, which is basically my business name where I sell hand-dyed yarn, higher knitting needles, crochet hooks, notions and various other higher stock. I also have some handmade project bags made by my mum on my website and a few patterns which I have designed. My website is bluefernyarns.co.uk. I think you can also find me on, I don't even think you can find me, I know you can find me on Instagram, Ravelry and Facebook as Blue Fern Yarns. And yeah, I think that's it. It has been so long since I last recorded. I don't even know the date I last recorded. It's been absolutely manic here at Blue Fern Yarns. Yeah, and I'm so sorry that it's been such a long time. Thank you to everyone who has reached out and said, we miss you, come back, when are you coming back? It's been so lovely to have all these nice people come and say hello, and especially at the East Anglia Yarn Festival, which I was at the end of March. And a lot of people said, when are you coming back to our screens? And it was just so amazing and quite terrifying that there were so many people wanting to see me on their screen. So I'm back! I don't know if that is going to end up being my little YouTube photo that they tend to pick, but we shall see. Oh my gosh, this is going to be a bit of a weird episode. So there's been lots going on. I've got a few finished objects of knitting and crochet. I have got a couple of whips. I've got loads and loads to show you. So I'm not going to show you all of them in this episode. What I'm going to try and do is record another episode in a couple of weeks' time to kind of catch up. And that may be a bit of a longer episode. I'm going to try and keep this one quite short. But I know every time I say that, that never happens. So we shall see what actually happens. I have got a continuous make along that I run both on Instagram and Ravelry, and it's called the Blue Fern Yarns FOs make along. Basically, there is a hashtag for Instagram, and I'll pop that on the screen. And there's also a thread on Ravelry, so you can enter in both to get 2 entries per quarter, because I draw prizes every quarter, or you can enter on one. It's entirely up to you. Yeah, it's entirely up to you. I've had quite a few entries over the last period, which is the 1st of January through to the 31st of March. I have drawn a winner, and it's a little bit awkward at this moment because I'm slowly removing stuff from my website at the moment to get ready for Spring into Wool, which is happening this weekend in Leeds, and I am vending, which is super exciting. I'll talk about that in a minute. And yes, so the winner, I'm not expecting you to contact me straight away this time. Give it a couple of weeks, or give it a few days after the after this weekend. So maybe leave it until Thursday, Friday next week. But the winner is able to pick a skein of yarn from my website, and you'll get that for free basically. So I've picked a winner. I am going to move this way. I'm going to try and pop a picture of the image of the make that won it, and it was one of the ones that was on Instagram this time, and the username is Catherine's Yarn, and I'll pop that on the screen. She made, sorry, looking at my notes down here, she made the Park View hat, and I totally forgot to write the name of the designer, so I'll pop that on the screen as well. Everything I talk about, by the way, is also in the down bit below. So just below this video there should be like a little down arrow. If you click on that, you'll have all the notes and links to patterns and things like that about whatever I'm talking about. Anyway, so yes, that's the Parkview hat, and she had used my February palette club and held it, I believe, with mohair and made this gorgeous hat. And I just gonna pop it in again because it is so lovely. So yes, thank you very much, Catherine, for I'm assuming your first name is Catherine, as you are Catherine's Yarn. Thank you so much for entering, and congratulations. Yeah, so if you could get in touch, if you want, you can get in touch straight away and then have a few weeks to decide what you would like. There are also going to be some extra goodies popped into that parcel because I've been collecting a few things that I think would go quite lovely with it as well. But they're going to be kept as a secret. It's a little bit of a surprise for when you get your parcel. But yeah, if you can get in touch, we could talk about what you need to do or how you want to do it. It won't be going against Advents or die to orders, but it can be anything that's ready to ship. I am actually wearing my Litmus Cow, which is a free pattern on Ravelry. I don't know if you can get it anywhere else actually. I don't know. I will have a look, but I know you can definitely get it on Ravelry and it is free on there. And it's by Jude Harper, and it's such a simple but great design. I have seen thousands of different, in fact, I am going to take it off. Hold on. Oh, I've seen thousands of different Litmus Cows out there and they're all so lovely. And this is my one basically. My mum made this for me so this is actually a rainbow, which I found out on my Instagram stories that I released just over a year ago today, which was completely by accident. Didn't mean to find that out, but I found that out and I thought it was quite interesting. But this is a rainbow that I released over a year ago now, and the grey colour is my concrete colourway, which I still stock, and some of these colours I do still have in stock as well, and I will be bringing some of them to the Spring into Wool show in Leeds. So the colours that I've got, so we've got, in fact I'm literally going to start from red because if not I'll keep going backwards and going, I'm going to start there. So this is a discontinued colourway, so I won't go through that one. This is Freshly Squeezed, Happiness, this one's Grasshopper, you've got Conifer just here, Pacific, Summer Skies, I knew I'd remember it at some point. This is my old Amethyst colourway, but the Amethyst colourway now in my shop is different to this one. It screams more amethyst to me, whereas this one was just sort of a basic flat colour. I say flat colour, it's hand dyed, so it's never flat, is it? But basically it's been updated. And this one I believe was Blackberry at the time, but that's no longer in the shop, and this one was Rose, again no longer in the shop. But yeah, I talked a lot longer about this than I actually wanted to. Never mind. Yeah, I've got it on. It's a little bit cool, and I'm finding recently that if the back of my neck is not covered, I feel really cold. I don't know why, never used to, but now I am. So yeah, this is just sort of how I wear it, looped around twice, because it is quite a long cow, and that's it. I feel so out of practice on this. So I am going to jump into some of the finished objects. It might look like a few, but it has been a while since I've been here, and there is also one of them which is a sample knit. So I'm going to show you the sample knit, that way around. this is the Love Note by Tin Can Knits, and the lovely Leah, who's on Instagram, sample knitted this for me, and this is just stunning. I love this. So she's used my Magnolia colourway and held it double with Suri silk, so you can see that there's some coming off. There is a gorgeous, I don't know if it's coming up, but there is a gorgeous halo on it, and it is so warm, and I am constantly wearing it with a black vest top underneath, which is ridiculous because it comes off and I'm covered in fluff. But it is so lovely and warm. I will pop in a picture, if I move over again, I will pop in a picture of me wearing it so you can see what it looks like. I'm not going to put it on now. But yeah, so that's what it is. That is actually the medium size. So one of the things I find quite difficult about deciding what patterns I want is because a lot of people don't talk about the size that they make or the amount of yarn that they use or anything like that. So I am more than happy to talk about that. Quite often I make the large or extra large because I don't know how to put this. I'm not that comfortable with my body. I'm okay with it. I don't think I've got the worst body or anything like that. I don't hate the way I look. There are a few things I wish I could change, as I'm sure there's everyone's like that. But so yeah, I make the large or extra large depending on what the pattern descriptions say and things like that. But that one is actually knit in the medium size because of the amount of positive ease that's actually written into the pattern. So yes, that's the medium size. It's literally called medium or M on the pattern. And to make that, we had 150 grams of my Magnolia 4-ply platinum base, and 100 grams of undyed Suri silk, and that made that whole jumper. So yeah, and I'll have put a picture on earlier so you can see what it looks like. But yes, I absolutely love it, and I am amazed that so little yarn went into such a big garment. It is made on 6mm needles, so it is obviously got quite a loose gauge, but I think that's just part of the pattern, and I think it's lovely. I love it. I do have another sample knit, and it is already packed up, ready to go to Spring into Wool. So I'm very sorry, Ruth, I can't show that one this time, but I'm going to show that next time, I promise. And yes, I'm going to whiz along because I don't want this to be a very, very long episode. But those that have been around for a while will know that these socks have been on the needles for some time. I think I started them in July last year, and I finished one fairly quickly, but I didn't finish the other. So this is a pair of socks, and I do have two. I can prove it that I have two. Woo! So I have two. It's a pair of socks that's been on the needles for some time, and it's a pair of socks for Tom. It's a pattern that I have designed, and I will be releasing it at some point. I have drafted the pattern, but I haven't finished it. I don't know if I want sample knitters because I don't know if I'm going to release it for free, because there are a lot of patterns out there that are like this, but mine have got some different aspects to it, basically. So yeah, so these are the square dance socks is what I've called them, because they're for Tom. They don't quite fit the blockers, so we're just going to ignore that. I have pulled them quite high up here, so normally if you put it about there, it is quite a bit short. Anyway, so yes, these blockers do not fit Tom's feet, but these are the socks that I've made for Tom. They are using Somerset yarns in Arizona, which is this main colour here, and then you've got like this little pop of pink just here, and then again on the cuff at the top there. and that is from a 10-gram mini skein from Botanical Yarns. I think it came in a I can't remember the name of the set, but it was a 100-gram skein of like a grey with loads of brightly coloured speckles. And then there was 5 10-gram mini sets. Sorry, my mother is actually trying to phone me, so I'm going to decline her. Sorry. She's going to watch this episode and go, how dare you? Sorry, Mum, I'll phone you back. But yeah, so, and then she had 5 10-gram mini skeins of like brightly neon colours, and I've got fluff in my eye because I picked up my fluffy jumper every time I do. Anyway, and yeah, and so I used like the neon pink to go with this. This is probably the most contrasting pair of socks that Tom will ever let me. Contrasting? That's not what I mean, is it? What do I mean? Complementary coloured pair of socks that Tom will ever let me make. Because he basically goes for anything that does not go, but strangely it works. Because it was a new design, I told him he couldn't choose the yarn. He could pick this colour because that's what he wanted, but other than that he couldn't pick anything else. So yes, this is the square dance socks. I'm going to just rotate the sock if I can. I'm just going to do that on the foot bit, just so you can see the pattern that is on there. So, oh gosh, it's a bit fiddly. Okay, so, ooh, I'm going to drop the socks. So there we go, there's the pattern. And it is sort of a grid square pattern. It's a very simple one, but what it does is it works its way down into a point. So the point actually goes, so this would be the leg of the sock, but the point comes down here. And that's sort of what you're seeing, just sort of hit, oh gosh, hopefully you can see it. Just sort of here, it goes a little bit further down. And what that does is when it's used with a very speckled yarn, it disperses the colours a little bit more. Whereas sort of if you've got a speckled yarn, it quite often knits in stripes. Whereas this just disperses it a little bit more. And I just love that effect. So all it is a 1x1, I'm just double checking. Yes, a 1x1 twisted rib. And Tom has a pair of socks, and these have been finished for a little while, and they've been sat in my little box of socks because I can't give it to Tom until I've shown you guys. So now that I've shown you, he can have his pair of socks and stop moaning at me that I've still got a pair of his socks. But yes, so he's going to be quite happy. I have also got another pair of socks that I finished. So again, those that have been here for a while will know that I knitted this sock tube a long time ago, and I put a cuff and a toe on each one, but I hadn't done the heel because I hadn't decided who they were going to be for. And yeah, basically they're going to be for me. I kept looking in my stash and I kept being drawn to it, and I was like, I'm gonna have to keep them. So I'm being a bit cheeky. It was a finished object before. It's now a finished object again because I've actually put the heel in, and I've used the afterthought heel, which I really. Sorry, Mum's now messaging me because I didn't answer her phone call. I'm gonna carry on anyway. So I used the afterthought heel, which I think is a great thing to learn. So if you haven't learnt it yet, please do have a go. One thing I can say is work when you've got no distractions and take breaks, because like I was so nervous when I did it, and now I can do it without thinking. It is absolutely fine. It's not a problem whatsoever. And if you want some tips on how I did them, get in touch. I may at some point do a video. I don't know. Maybe I need to quit my day job before I commit to doing how-to videos. I don't do too many of them because there are so many out there. But I do them if there is a lot of requests for them, basically. But yes, so I've just got a pair of socks. Another pair of socks that is going to sit in my box of socks. I can't even breathe now. My box of socks. And yeah. They'll sit in the box until December, when the 1st of December, and I'll open that box up and start wearing the socks. So the yarn is I can't actually remember what the yarn is. I know this one. This one's mine. This dark blue, and it's called Ink. But I can't remember who that is by. But I can remember it's called Riders on the Rain. I'm going to pop that in the down bar below so you know who the yarn has come from. I'll have to go back and look at the project, but definitely done that. Just going to tick those off. And yes, so I've got a couple more finished objects. Sorry, I've got quite a few. So these are actually crochet now, and I don't know which one to show you first. So I actually run a very local knit group where I live in Norwich, and it's basically not even a 5-minute walk down the road from me, and I run it because all of the other knit groups that I found that I wanted to go to were all during the day when I do my full-time job. And meant that I couldn't go, which was really disappointing. So I popped a comment on the, I don't know what you call it, like the local group for where I live in Old Catton, basically. Basically telling you where I live. And asked around to see if anyone else would be interested. There was quite a lot of interest, so I set up a little group. And a lot of them are crocheters, and they were doing the amigurumi. I couldn't remember what the word was. Amigurumi, however you pronounce it. And it really inspired me to go back and have another go and do some more. So I'm going to show you in the order that I made them. So I've got 3 little creatures down here, and this is the first one. So I've made it out of my hand-dyed yarn. And it is 4-ply yarn. So they are really tiny creatures. I've made this pattern before, and when it was in DK, it was about this tall. So he was a lot bigger when he was in DK. But this is in 4-ply using a 2.5mm hook. And this is, the pattern is called Milo the Hipster Cat, and his hood comes off, which I think is adorable. You can put his hood back on. You have to tuck his ears in a little bit because they'll get cold. But you can take his hood off. And also, his little paws come out of his pocket in his hoodie. I really love this guy. So, yes, so the pattern is by... can't remember her name. I didn't write her name down, but her business name is DIY Fluffies. But how adorable is he? I love him. He's so cute. The colours that I've used, so this is a newish colour. I say newish. It is a new colour. It's called Grelephant. And it is this gorgeous browny grey with slight purple tones. The hood, or the hoodie, is made out of my Love Note colourway. And look at the little tail. And his tail is striped. And his little stripes up here, and his nose is made out of my Burnished colourway, which again is a reddy brown type colour. But isn't he adorable? Like, oh, I loved him. He is a little bit wonky because it's been a while since I made one. I used to make these all the time, not necessarily this one, but loads of different ones before. And I got to the point where I just didn't want to make them anymore. But he's very wonky actually. If you look there, you can see this ear lines up with the middle. but the other ear does not. So he's very, very wonky. And his nose and his eyes are not straight, but I don't care. I love him. He's so cute. And he does come along with me to the yarn shows. He came along to the East Anglia Yarn Show, and lots of people liked him, so it's very cute. Then we're going to show you the next one. So this is Emma Bunny by Kerry Lord, and I think she does a lot of Toft. I don't know if she is Toft or if she just uses Toft. I'm never really sure. I should probably know that. But this is Emma Bunny. She's got a cute little tail at the back there. She is made out of my Tropics colourway. So it is this gorgeous, if I show you the back, you can see a little bit more. Gorgeous turquoise, greens, blues and corals in there. And yeah, this is Emma Bunny, and the ears are so cute. They're almost as big as she is. Yeah, I've made millions of Emma Bunnies before. Again, I've used 4-ply, so she is really, really small. I don't know if my camera is going weird on the focus, sorry. So this is Emma Bunny. She's made out of 4-ply, again a 2.5mm hook. And yeah, here she is. She's very cute in the little tail. And then I know, I got a little bit crazy with them all. I think I scratched that itch though, because I don't think I want to make another one for a little while, but that's fine. And I made another one, Milo the Hipster Cat, and again his hood comes off and his hands come out of the pockets. I just think that's amazing. I show everyone, anyone who comes to the yarn shows and looks at him, I'm like, look at this, his hood comes off and his hands come out of the pockets, and I'm trying to stuff them back in. It's not working, or one did. So yes, this is Milo the Hipster Cat. The only thing I didn't do with them is put the string on. Just, you know, when you've got a hoodie, you've got like a couple of strings, haven't you? It's the only thing I didn't do, but otherwise it's all followed to pattern. He is slightly more even if he is looking more that way when he's straight onto the camera. But his whole head's just that way. The rest of him is a bit more even. He's got a little cute tail. And he is made out of my, again, 4-ply. It's the Cookies and Cream colourway. His stripes are Silver Fern. And his hood is actually made out of my Yak yarn, which is dyed in the colourway Caribbean Seas. So it's got this gorgeous turquoisey blue to it, but because it's done on the Yak, it's got like the jewel tones coming through it. But yes, here he is. It's so cute. Yeah, I know I'm going yeah all the time, so I'm really sorry about that. But I'm trying to remember everything about all of these because it's been so long since I have recorded. I am going to show you 2 whips that I've got. So I'm going to put my notes out the way because that means I'm going to probably forget everything. But I wanted to show you my palette sets that I am dyeing and what I'm making out of it. So this is the Cozy Comfort Blanket. I'm going to come up really close just so you can see the texture. Again, it is crochet and it just has this gorgeous, simple texture. It is such an easy crochet pattern, and it's one that I've designed and I love it. I think this is amazing. So I am using my palette sets. They do not fade month through month, but what they do is they work quite well together. So we have got the sample set, which is from this dark yellow all the way down here. And that was a sample set that I did briefly just to sort of show what I was intending to do. So what I do every month is I pick an image and then I pick the palette out of that image and dye that palette up basically. So it's a bunch of colours that you take from an image and then you dye it up. And then you've got January is just here. Then you've got There to there for February. Then you've got there to there, which is March, and then we've also got April has been added on as well. And what I'm doing with the Palette Club is I do release it in advance, way in advance of the month, and then the idea is for you to get the palette set prior to the month starting, so then you can use it in the month that it relates to. Hopefully that makes sense. That's because that's what I really wanted. I wanted to use the colours in the month that they're related to. But obviously, because I am impatient and I'm dyeing the yarn and I can, I have been using them in the month prior to what they relate to. So by the time I've sent out the yarns, I've already started or even added all 5 colours. So I am only using 10 grams of each of the colours every month, whereas the sets are, sorry, I thought that was a spider there. It's just a bit of fluff. I am terrified of spiders. But yeah, so did you see the sheer panic just then? So yes, I am using 10 grams of the set, but the sets do come in the 20 gram minis only at the moment, but you do have the option of 4-ply or DK. And yes, I'm really loving the challenge of it. Sometimes the colours don't work out the way I want them to, which is part of the process, but sometimes they turn out even better than you think they would, and oh, I love it so much. So in fact, a lot of these colours will be coming to the shop at some point. This Grelephant colourway, the Grelephant colourway that is on here is the colour that came out of February, and it's this dark purpley grey, and I just loved it so much that I was like, I'm gonna have to do it. I had a name for it as soon as I dyed it, which was Grelephant, and I just had to dye it basically. There was no way I was not going to do it. But also with the palette sets is my mum is getting a set every month as well, and she is knitting the northeasterly blanket. Oh gosh, this one is so difficult to show you all of them at once. So she is knitting the northeasterly, which is absolutely stunning. I really love it. So what she does is a strip in each of the months. So I'm going to show you this way round, because then you can sort of see it in a similar way. So this was the sample set. Then you've got January, February, March and April. And how gorgeous does that look? I really, really love this. And she has told me that I'm getting the blanket, which I'm really excited about, because you could never have enough blankets. And yeah, so, and that's what so you can see sort of how it looks when it's knitted, hopefully, to how it looks when it's crocheted. So yeah, I just absolutely love it. I really do. I can't talk about it enough, really. I have been asked by quite a few people if I'm going to be doing a restock of the January, February, March and now April, because it's all sold out, sets. So the answer is yes, I am. It's hopefully going to work towards the end of April, but that will depend on what fits in with my schedule. So yeah, basically I am going to do it. It will be the last time I restock January. That will possibly be the end of April will be the last time I restock January, because I've done it a couple of times now. February will follow on after that. March will follow on again after that. And then I think that will be the last of them. So if you do want one, please do grab one. If you want one, get in touch so I can just mark you down as that's what you want. Not that there is no obligation to buy. It just makes sure that I can dye up enough of the numbers, because they will be done as a ready to ship, not as a dyed to order. And yes, I feel like I've been talking non-stop. I do have, in fact, I'm going to say my one, because obviously the other one is my mum's. My one lives in this gorgeous project bag that I got from Emma at Eldenwood Crafts, and it is amazing. I'm pretty sure that this is her midi size, which means it is good for a sort of jumper. I don't know if it would fit a really thick jumper in there, but definitely one of the thinner ones. I think I'd get a jumper in there really, really easily. It does hold a lot of yarns. It holds the blanket plus the yarns, and it's still got space as I go along anyway. So we actually did a swap, some yarn for a bag, which was lovely. And I will see if I can show you her logo, because it does fold over a little bit, so you have to see it two sides. So you've got Elden Wood. So hopefully that does show you it, but I'll link her shop and everything down below. She does amazing project bags. If I can show you without showing some of the May colour, because I've got two small, in fact, and take it off screen altogether. I had two small balls of the May colour that I'd already dyed in the bag. But you do get some large pockets on the inside as well. You've got two large ones in there. It is a drawstring, and you've also got the handle, which I just think is amazing. Definitely go and check out her bags. They are very, very good quality. And I just saw this on one of her, I think she did a reel or something. I was like, it's like leaf fabric. I've just checked your shop, it's not in there. When are you going to bring it out? Because I knew as soon as I saw it, I'd have to get one in this fabric. I just think it's fantastic. I love it. Thank you, Emma. And then the last thing is another whip. It's a pair of socks, and this is the bag. In fact, I could turn it around so then you can actually see who it's by. It's by So Beautiful by Nicola. Hopefully that has focused because I can't see. And it's such a cute little bag. I have had this for a little while. My mum bought it for me for a gift. You do have also, I always keep it tucked down because I don't really, in fact I'm going to take everything out because it is a bit of a mess at the moment. You do have this insert bit which you can like drawstring close, so you can then fit larger projects in there, things like sort of definitely a jumper or top or anything like that, but I quite often leave it just tucked in and flat inside because I just haven't needed, I never have more than one jumper on one at the go at the moment. Oh my god, words. So I never have more than one jumper on the go at a time, because otherwise I think I'd just get really confused. But yes, so this is my project bag, and the yarn is, in fact I will show you that way. So the yarn that I'm using is a self-striping, it's a mini set that I got from Giddy Yarns. So that is her logo. And I got this whilst at the East Anglia Yarn Festival, which happened at the end of March. I did vend there, but obviously I went round and bought a few things. I will show you all the other things that I bought next time. But this one I was desperate to cast on another pair of socks. And this was already wound up, so I did it. So there's the details. So it's called, the colourway is called Eggs and Bunnies. And I've seen this colourway quite a few times. In fact, my camera's doing its weird thing again. There we go. Sorry about that. I just don't know how else to sort it out otherwise. So the colourway is called Eggs and Bunnies. I've seen this colourway appear on her shop a few times, and every time I've gone to go and get it, it's gone. So I was really grateful that I could get, because I only wanted a 50 gram skein as well. I didn't want a big ball because I just wouldn't use it all. And it's 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon, and it says 400 meters per 50 grams. I I think that's supposed to be 200 metres per 50 grams, because 400 metres and 50 grams. Yeah, I do not think that is 400 metres. I'm pretty sure that's going to be 200 metres per 50 grams, because it's 425. It's the same base as what I do. It's 425 per 100 grams. So I don't know. I'd find that really weird if that is 400 metres per 50 grams. But it is definitely 85 metres per 20 grams. So I got a 20 gram complementary colourway, which is this one. And then this is the ball. But you can see like the complementary one is also in the gum ball as well. And I have to turn it back the right way around because I haven't even sewn in my ends. I have done one sock tube with a cuff and a toe. I'm going to do the afterthought heel at some point, but there's one, and I have also started, so I've had to pull a little bit off the gum ball just to make sure they do match, and I have started the second one. I've just done a 1x1 twisted rib. I've only done 10 rows because I got bored of doing it. Normally I do about 15, but I just got bored and I really wanted to start on the ball, so on the gum ball. So I did that and just worked my way down. I've done one and that's it. So yeah, really enjoying working with this one. It's really nice to see how it's working out. And I'm just going to put all of that away because if not I will lose it. I do normally have it in a DPN case, but I was working on it whilst I was waiting for Tom to leave for work. So the DPN case is just this one. It's a Craft House Magic one, so by Ellie, who is amazing. And here is her little logo just there. I'll link it down below, but she does some amazing project bags, DPN cases, everything. And yeah. So, I think I'm going to start to wrap this up. It's been a little bit longer than I hoped for, but hopefully not too long. What am I up to today? So, today I am going to the hairdressers to get my roots covered up, because they're getting quite long. But yes, so I'm going to go and do that. I am then going to finish, we'll edit this podcast and put it for upload hopefully this evening, but it will probably be first thing in the morning that it'll be available. And today is Wednesday, my day off the week, because I do my full-time hours over 4 days, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. And then I am getting ready. Well, I say I'm getting ready. You can't see the chaos that is behind you because basically I have got suitcases and boxes full of yarn, and sample knits, and a new set, which it's not a new set, but it's the Painting Honeycomb set boxes, which looks like this. And yeah, so all of this is for Spring into Wool. We are, I say we, Tom is coming with me, and we are going to be vending at Spring into Wool. It will be my first time vending there, which will be really exciting. And yes, really looking forward to it. Looking forward to meeting some lovely people. I know a few of you have already said that you're already going, and I can't wait to meet you. I may also be twinning with another lady. She saw my Whitmore sweater that I made, which using my Ivy colourway, and she loved it so much she immediately bought some herself, and she's made a jumper. She's told me she's going to wear it, so we're going to twin. It's going to be so exciting. But yeah, so really looking forward to meeting you guys. If you are going, please do pop along and say hello. And squish yarn, just, you know, be as excited as I am when I just squish yarn. It's just so nice. And I'm sure Tom will remember the lingo from last time when he helped me at Newbury Wool Show in Southern Wool Show in Newbury. last year. So yeah, it'll be really, really exciting. And I hope to see you there. I was going to bring down loads of colours and show you some of the newbies that I'm bringing with me, but they're all in the boxes already, or they're upstairs waiting to be wound, and I am planning on doing some more of that later. So you may just have to see them on Instagram, and maybe on the next podcast that I do I'll get a chance to show you some of those. But anyway, I am going to wrap it up here. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm so sorry this was a bit of a scattered episode, but I am going to try and get back on schedule and start recording a little bit more regularly, now that I've had a bit of a busy period, and it should be coming over. It should be coming over. It should be coming to an end towards the end of April, so I should be able to get back on it. And yes, I am also, just for those in case they do ask, I am doing advents this year. The shop, although it will be popped on holiday mode, the die to order items will still be available for purchase if you do want them. The advents are up there. There is an instalment option available if you do want that. And there is also a pay in full option. There's a couple of different varieties. Sorry, my phone, I don't know what's going on. Somebody else is calling me now. That's super crazy. I never get phone calls, and in this episode alone I am having two, and I'm really worried that it is not recording and I'm talking to myself. Am I talking to myself? I think I might be. I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to try and carry on and just wrap this up. And I think I was not talking to myself because the timer is still going. So sorry. I'm going to go and let you carry on with your day. Hope you are well. I hope you're staying safe. Because I know the dreaded COVID numbers are increasing quite drastically. And yes, hope you're taking care of yourself. Bye.